let's talk. So currently, right now, we're on a aggressive cut. The process is going to take anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks at most. The goal initially is to get rid of the lower chest fat that I have right now, and it's not anything too drastic. And I can say for certain that it's not gynecomastia, because if it was, it would be a lot more worse. And I did have a doctor take a look at it. I just definitely have to maintain the current diet that I have to get rid of it. But if you see here, as I'm sitting down, the goal is to get rid of whatever's that. You get me? Honestly, I'm way too self-conscious about it. Goal is to get rid of that shit. So, other than that, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad, but it's definitely something that can improve, in which it will within time, as consistency remains there, and of course as long as I remain faithful to my diet, which I will. So lower chest fat, and the same thing with my stomach. We want to lose fat there too. As for my love handles, nothing too crazy going on there. I do definitely want to lose more fat in that area, in which we will, because as of right now, I'm maintaining, I'd want to say 30 to 45 minutes of cardio. I prefer to do incline because you burn the most fat like that. Um, what else? Other than that, the goal initially, just being able to maintain the same amount of strength while also getting rid of that fat. Because I have a pretty good foundation as of right now. Like I said, it could be a lot more better. It's just, unfortunately, it's masked with the fat that I have right now. But as of right now, that is the goal. Because as for my back, I do have a decent V taper going on right now. Um, like I said, it's just I have like a decent amount of body fat right now that I do have to get rid of. So, in which we will. But we will, bit by bit, and that's all that matters. So, 8 to 12 weeks. Videos are probably going to be at least once or twice per week. I haven't came up with an exact schedule, but 8 to 12 weeks, strict diet, lower chest fat, stomach fat, being able to lift the same amount of weight while also, just creating a better foundation, if you will. So, right now, I'm gonna get ready for the gym. Today is back in buys, and I will be documenting all of that once I get there. But as of right now, I just wanted to give everyone an insight as to what I'm working with, so that way that we can compare this video to the video from 8 to 12 weeks from now. And I'm praying this process works, because I have not ate junk food. I have not ate pizza. I haven't drank soda, beer. As much as I love my beer, I'm putting all that away. So we're gonna document it. So we're gonna take a look. So I'll see you guys at the gym. All right, perfect. So basically, for the first workout, what I typically start off with, I like to start off with lat pull downs. This gives me a better pump when I typically start off in the gym. Typically, don't get me wrong, when I initially get to the gym, I like to start off with some pull-ups, and probably which I will start off with after this one. But I kind of like to alternate between the two. So typically when I start off, I like to warm up. I don't want to go too crazy for the first set, but just like a mock-up set. And then as progressively, because typically I like to have a starter, I guess you would say, like a little bit of a practice, so that way that I could get a good feel for it before I typically start going heavy on it. I'm gonna start off with 130. Typically when I do my sets and high weights, I like to keep it between 10 to 12. And I find it weird because I don't know if I'm the only person that typically does this, but for whatever reason, I start off with like 1 through 6, and then I'll end up, as soon as I'm done with 6, I'll go ahead and be like 1, 2, 3, 4 after that to kind of like even it out. Or I'll just go through 1 through 6, and then 1 through 6. It depends. The more up in weight that I go, I feel like it's not only an accomplishment, but I remember when I initially started off in the gym, I mean, obviously, not everyone's gonna be a pro, but I was only able to do 100 at one point. Literally just 100. So I'm gonna move it up to 160. But I don't know what it is, but I really do prefer leg day a lot more. And which I'll probably end up recording in due time. But typically for my back days, anyways, I got a bit off topic on that one. I really do love chasing the crazy pumps. And before I end up getting more lost in the sauce, I see a lot of people hopping up on what is it, peptides? Or they like to go on natural, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna shame anyone that does that. But my biggest thing is that if I've already gotten this far in the sense of doing it all natural, I want to prove that this shit is worth it, rather than being able to hop on, test, trend, peptides, anything revolving that. And I actually used to take SARMs a long time ago, in which I will discuss that after the set, which I would never recommend anyone else to do that. SARMs are horrible. So don't do SARMs. Okay. Shit. All right. So, a bit of a funny story. When I initially hopped on SARMs, which, like I said, I would never recommend to anyone else. Believe I was 18. I'm currently 23 now. I would never recommend it to anyone though, because, and thankfully, I didn't fuck up my testosterone. I didn't fuck up my, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but libido as well. But I just, don't get me wrong, I definitely felt something in the sense of like difference in working out. But I've never at all had, I don't know, I've never been suppressed. Maybe it's luck, but I would also recommend not taking more than the average person would take. Like the moderate dose, I wouldn't go anything above that. And I try to keep it at least underneath it. But yeah, I think the ones that I've taken was GW 50156 or something like that. I've taken Rad 140 before. And honestly, it's been so long, I can't even remember exactly what it's supposed to do. It's been so long. But, and then which I'll also explain in this other part too, because I forgot if it was S4. That shit went crazy. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the one that kind of makes it feel like you have a third lung and you keep running. And honestly, that shit was crazy. I'd sit at the fucking treadmill for like a good hour, incline all the way, at least like between like, what is it, like 4, 5 speed? That shit's fucking crazy. But, and I think this is actually a perfect time to discuss what inherently even got me into the gym. I used to be a very, very depressing fuck. Excuse me for being vulgar. But I'm just explaining the length of the situation, because it was either I was sitting in my room getting high all the damn time and not really doing anything about it, just kind of weeping and just kind of being comfortable within my depression. Damn, I'm so winded. But point being is I ended up going through a reality check, and I just told myself, at the end of the day, it's either that I'm gonna relapse, or do I want to fucking change and better myself? And as egotistical as it sounds, I just told myself, well, fuck it, let me go ahead and make a body, create a physique that they can no longer touch, in which I look a lot more better than I did before. In which I'll show some pictures probably further down the line. Excuse me for being so out of breath. But I'm gonna go for one more set, and then we'll move on to the next machine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that down, and then we'll probably move to some rows, more than likely. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I actually have a pretty solid pump right now. Let's try to aim for 245s. But definitely though, and I don't know what it is, but sometimes I kind of alternate in between my two workouts, because obviously it being back in buys, I'm kind of, I'll do back first, like I'll do one back workout, then I'll progressively move to biceps, or sometimes I'll just do a full back workout, and then obviously I'll switch over to biceps. But we're gonna stick to the old niche, I guess one would say, but we're definitely I'm gonna move it over a little bit so you can see where I'm aiming for. So, but yeah, no, I mean, other than that though, I feel like my favorite part of my body would be right now would probably be my back, but we'll progressively get better in due time. All right. Fuck. But other than that though, I'm really trying to go for the crazy Dorito looking back that I kind of used to have a little bit more younger. But as for SARMs, don't stay away from that shit. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I wouldn't even fucking hop on Test or Trend. I mean, if you want to chase the crazy lifestyle, I mean, fuck it, by all means, go for it. You know, that's if you really are like, I guess you would say, if you're really crazy about the gym. I mean, I'm crazy about it too, but I prefer to keep it natural. Oh, shit. But other than that, I don't know what it is, but I actually used to hate leg day. But as I progressively started working on it, because when I used to play basketball, I used to kind of just like be very discouraged with how fat my thighs used to be. But you know, obviously, after working it progressively over time, it actually formed pretty decently, and I'm actually kind of liking how my thighs are coming to look at. And we'll get to that at one point in a different vlog. Because my leg workouts are not that crazy. I did hit a recent PR of on the leg press. I think it was like about like 530 or 540, in which we'll see when that day comes. But other than that, yeah. And if you can too, let me know what type of pre-workout you guys take. I'm kind of in between. I kind of like C4, or even though I don't know if it's really considered a pre-workout or not, probably not, but I would also take Kratom, but it's like a Kratom infused drink. But I'm kind of in between C4s, and I'll take Kratom because it helps me stay a little bit, I guess you would say, locked in that sense. But yeah, so welcome to my life. Fun fact, now that I like to actually bring it up, initially when I did actually start getting into the gym, I used a lot of forbidden pre-workout. If you know, you know. I mean, as cringe as it sounds, it actually fucking worked. Especially when I was younger. That shit filled me. I don't know what it is, but something about looking back at like fucking text, you know, it kind of reminds you like, fuck, you know, like, cool. This is why she left me, or this is why this person left me. Fuck it. Let me go ahead and work on my best form. And actually I went pretty far with that. So other than that though, I feel like if you're going through a rough patch, or if you're just having some type of obstacles within your life, whether it be friendships, family, relationships, I feel like gym is a very, very good outlet. Not to kind of mask or kind of numb out the problems that you have from your current life, but it definitely helps to an extent with your self-esteem, of course the confidence within your body too, if you don't already like your body. And I feel like it helps with logical thinking as well, and logical reasoning. At least for me, that's what it did. But let me go ahead and finish this other side. And then now that I think about it, for chest days when I do manage to get around to vlogging those, one thing that will stick out the most is probably you won't be seeing me doing a lot of benching. I fucked up my shoulder when I was in high school, and I don't think I want to fuck it up more than it already is. And I'm only 23 at that. I'm not even that old. Not saying that anyone that's older than me, that they're old, I'm just saying. And I think I already have arthritis in my damn hand from the amount of times I fucked up with our barbells and all that other stuff. I'm not gonna lie though, I have a killer pump right now. Honestly, it's not that bad. I think after this, I'm gonna move on to biceps. So that way that I can kind of stay in between, and then I'll probably alternate between how I used to with back and then buys and back and buys. But yeah, I'm gonna go for one more set. Ah, shit. And I didn't even take pre-workout at that, but we'll manage. It's not the first time. Oh, shit. Damn it. All right. Oh, that was 3 sets. I'm gonna 2 to 3 if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that was 3 sets. I'm already breaking a sweat. But I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that down. I typically do 4 sets, don't get me wrong. But I like to push it down per workout. I do 4 sets, then the next one will be 3, like for back. You get me? And the same thing with biceps. I'll do 4 sets on the first workout for biceps. Then after I progressively work to the next workout, 3 sets. But of course I push myself. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this down and get this out. So now we're gonna move on to the bicep curls. I'm probably more than likely gonna start off with some 40s. Just cause I'm feeling it. But I'm probably only gonna do, what is it, like 10 reps at a time? Not gonna lie, I kind of lost count there. I probably did like, what was it, like 12 or 14? I can't really get an exact count on that. But I definitely do like how my shoulders and biceps come out though when I fully pumped. But I definitely do have the dad bod. There's nothing wrong with the dad bod, I don't want to have a big stomach. I would love for my daughter to be inspired. But in due time. She'll probably start benching by the time she's 5, we'll see. But, actually, they're gonna push for some 45s right now. I think I could do it. Some 45s will do. Yeah, that felt decently amazing. Not gonna lie, I feel kind of good right now. I don't know if you can see. Let me see. kind of energized. And I don't know if I mentioned before, I had even came to the gym, but usually when I get cold, obviously my naps kind of form up, but this is what I'm saying as to what my chest would technically look like if I continue to remain consistent within these next 8, 12 weeks, in which we will get, because I'm not fucking backing down. Because I've always chased or wanted to chase the Greek god type of physique, but I don't want to go too crazy. I just want a decent foundation, a decent physique at that, and of course, being able to maintain the same amount of weights and strength that I currently have right now. But yeah, other than that, stop fucking missing cardio. Stop missing leg day, because that shit is important. And if you're seeing this, I know you. I know you, mud. Stop missing that. And the whole goal initially of working out throughout this whole process, especially when it comes to the terms of this whole YouTube thing, it's not inherently to grow or build a big audience. The goal is to inspire those who ever watch it. Because trust me, I used to be fat, and just being self-conscious about the fact that I had like cow titties. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, fuck, we all were young at one point. But the goal initially is to be healthy. And I'm not gonna get too into depth in terms of, fat or obesity. But I don't know if you guys heard the other day. I forgot how the headline went. But it was basically like these two parents that got arrested, and which I'll probably put over here. Just take a look right here. But there was these two parents that were obviously obese, and I think their son was about 7 years old, and I think he was like 200 or 300 pounds, and he died due to obesity, and they got charged with murder. Never in my life would I ever just give my daughter anything. I wouldn't even give my fucking daughter, I wouldn't even give her McDonald's. She can have Slim Chickens, but she will never have McDonald's until she's 18 and she decides what she wants. But McDonald's, as much as I used to grow up eating it, it's not the best way to go. But honestly, no parent should allow their kid to be that obese, let alone, I don't think any parent should just give any type of food to their child. Parents should be able to cook a decent meal for their kid. But let me get back into this. But yeah, no. Other than that, and don't get me wrong, not that long ago, I took a little bit of a vacation haul, mainly too because the contractor that I was working for initially, they lost the contract. And keep in mind, I didn't have a GED before, now I do. But the new contractor that came in, they said, hey, you need your GED. And then throughout this, I guess you would say 2-month process, thank God I saved up a lot of money. I was able to obtain my GED. But at the same time, I was kind of eating like shit. What was I eating? I was eating Chipotle. I was eating Slim Chickens. I had a little bit of McDonald's from time to time. Really bad, if you think about it. I think as of right now, I weigh 201, 202, but initially I was 215. I'd say like almost a couple weeks ago, but that's horrible. That's honestly that's what I'm saying, especially when you have a lot on your plate. Because I'm not gonna lie, one of my biggest things is that when I'm stressed out, I'll stress eat. Like I'll pig out. I'll eat pizza. I'll drink beer or anything like that. And I don't know what it is with everybody that could drink straight like liquor, just like if it's just water. I can't, man. I love me my beer with some Dos Equis, and since I'm a lightweight, I only need like about like a 6 pack, and that's it, and I'm perfectly fine. But other than that, I can't. But so I'm saying though, the gym is a perfect way to discipline yourself, to motivate yourself in terms of being healthy physically and mentally. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be lost in the world. And of course, at the same time, you can't have your mind take control of you. You have to take control of your mind. If you let your emotions take control of you, then at the end of the day, who are you really? Because if you don't take control of your emotions, then you're not gonna really treat those around you pretty well. In terms of family, friendships, relationships, that's why it's always a good thing to take care of the foundation that you have. I'm gonna go for one more set and then we'll work on to another back workout. All right. I know I said back workout, but I forgot to acknowledge that I still have to touch base with another, what's it called? Bicep. I can't even think properly right now. So we're gonna move on to the next bicep workout, which would be the machine for bicep curls. I'm not gonna lie, this one's a little bit more different than what I'm used to working with, but it will do. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people that also take inspiration from gym, not obviously, correction, let me rephrase that. Obviously, whether it be in terms of, being obese or just having some type of fat growing up, I do think it also comes into terms with, being that one nerdy kid that not everybody used to like. Because you obviously, being in middle school, being in high school, I mean, I was never all that good looking, but at the same time, I never really had a genuine relationship in which all that pain and all that trauma fueled me, to look good. Because obviously you have a bunch of people that are ripped, ROTC, all sorts of things. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I used to see a lot of people have abs and stuff like that, and it's cool having abs, but I just want to at least look slim, have my big shoulders, my big traps, my biceps, and a nice, decent flat stomach, and I'll call it a day. But we'll see how far this shred takes us, because maybe as much as I say all this now, but maybe in due time I'll probably start working on some abs. But we'll come down further down that line. Let me get into this. Actually, yeah, no, we'll go to 60. All right. That was 60. I'm gonna push that up to 90, because typically I can do 100, but I don't want to kill my biceps yet. So we're just gonna go at a moderate pace. But I'm already sweating my ass off now, but that's a good thing. But other than that, no, I'd say what definitely helped me, and I heard a good saying before, forgot who said it, but they basically said that we're like whoever it is that we are now, we're a product of the environment that we endured. So all the trauma, all the hardships and relationships and things that led us to where we're at right now, we are the product of that. So, but like I said before, when I was jumping into the whole inspiration, I know I've already brought it up quite a few times. It was that girl that took my V card. You know, she fucked me over quite a few times. And then, like I said, when I found out I wasn't the only person that, when I found out that I wasn't the only person that they were talking to, I was like, fuck. I'm over here listening to Lil Peep, as much as I love Lil Peep. I'm over here smoking, fucking popping my pills and shit. Am I gonna relapse and go back to being a sad fuck, or am I gonna actually do something about it? And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being within our four walls from time to time, but you gotta get up and do something about it. You can't always be expecting shit to change if you're not changing anything within yourself. Get up, take a walk, write music or write poetry, draw art, do something that you like, play the guitar, play the piano, go to the gym, run, anything. Take yourself out to the movies, go eat by yourself. Small shit like that progressively betters yourself. It's called self-care. And you gotta take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, if you put yourself first, then who's gonna give a fuck about you? So, I'm gonna move on for the 90. Okay, maybe my ego stretched me a little bit further. I'm gonna have to go back to the 70. Damn. Jumping back to what I was saying, I don't know if I said that right. But what I was basically trying to say is that if you don't put yourself first, then you're never gonna get the self-care that you really need, or the love that you should be having for yourself. Because if you're always gonna put others before you, you're doing it completely ass backwards. You have to put yourself first, and then everyone else will come later. And of course, don't speak so negatively about yourself. You have to speak very good things, because even if you're being sarcastic about yourself, I'm shit, or bro, I'm gonna continue fucking up, you may be joking about it, but you have to understand too at the same time that our words are very powerful in this world. So you can preach about death will come to you. And you can preach about how bad your life is, more bad will continue to rain down on you. And you have another thing too that you have to remember. Whatever situation that you're going through, it does not matter what situation you're in. It's how you deal with it. That's why I'm saying taking control of your emotions is a very, very important thing. There's a book that I will recommend that I also have yet to finish, but it also dives into depth with what's it called? A bunch of laws, if you will. But it basically teaches you how to manipulate your own mind into getting what you want. Not manipulating others, but manipulating your own mind to get the exact results that you want. It's called Charles. It's fuck. What is it? Damn. You know what? I know it's by Charles F. Hannell. I know it. I know it's that. I'm sorry. The Master Key System. That's what it is. The Master Key System by Charles F. Hannell. It's the Law of Attraction, which you guys should really take a look at that. If you guys are into reading books, even if you're not inherently into reading books, there's like a bit of a study guide that kind of dives into depth as to, how to talk to your mind. Instead of saying, oh, like, I'm going to do it, no, like, I will do it. It's the small things that you apply that will change. But I'm not going to lie, I kind of can't stand this machine because this is not the bicep machine curl that I'm so used to. And for whatever reason, I can't lift the 90. I don't know if it's because of the way how this machine is kind of structured, but the other gym, the other location at least, I'm able to do it. Not to stroke my ego, I'm just saying, I don't know what the hell. I mean, let me try, hold on. God so help me. I did like what, 4.5? I don't know, man. This machine is really weird, but I like it. It does what's supposed to do, but it's just way different than the other bicep curl machine I'm so used to. But I think I'm gonna move on to the other back machine. But definitely for sure, take a look into the book. Like I said, you don't have to read the whole entire thing, but you can dive into depth in terms of the study guide. It tells you it's like 1 through something, and it breaks it down for you. And honestly, I would say it helps. And just definitely get into it. If you're looking to improve, this is your sign. Not looking at me working out or whatever. It's the fact that I'm telling you to better yourself. Do something. You can't sit down, be sad, expect shit to change if you're just gonna sit down there, drink beer, fucking smoking weed or doing whatever the hell you're doing. You have to get up. Yeah. Feel the emotions that you gotta go through though. I'm not disregarding that. No one is. Do whatever it is that you gotta do. Feel it through. And then once you're ready, get up. If you don't have the motivation, move. The moment you start moving, even you just don't feel like it, that's when it starts becoming a habit, and then that's when it becomes easier. Thank me later, but it's a process, and it took me a long time. But I'm gonna wipe this down real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, so moving forward, forgot what this down. It's the fuck, man. I can't even think right now. We're gonna do the fucking pulls. I forgot what this shit is called. Forgive me. But well, how many workouts did I did? I did. Was it 1, 2? So this would be my third one. I did 2 bicep curl machines. Well, correction. I did 2 bicep workouts. So this will be the last one. Not entirely, but just I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna move on to the bicep machine, or some shit. We'll figure it out together. I'm not inherently good with this whole vlogging thing. I'm still a work in progress, but we'll work on it. But yeah, so whatever it is that you're going through, breakups, friendship, family, whatever it may be, get your ass up, go for a walk, go to the fucking gym, stop being a lazy ass, do something. And obviously, do your fucking leg day, do your cardio, and I'm gonna keep repeating this for as long as I can up until I die, but leg day, cardio, stop being a lazy fuck, stop eating junk food, stop eating soda, stop eating chips, stop drinking soda. It's okay to have it once in a while, but you gotta do something about it if you wanna see improvements and changes. I'm not gonna lie though, I've been wanting to kind of get into cutting sugar out completely, because the transformation is crazy. I think Tristan Lee, if I'm not mistaken, he's crazy as hell, especially for the age that he started at. Hey man, but props to him. But start getting into this now. start with 80. Now that I think about it, I forgot my damn water in the damn truck. Whatever. But one thing I can say for certain though, even though we're talking, this is back in Bai's day, I'm glad I don't have, and forgive me, Father, if you're watching this, that I don't have chicken legs. But shout out to him because he's actually working out. So, shout out to my dad. Shout out to my mom too inherently too, because she got me into gym. Well, me and my sister into gym. So, honestly though, we're doing pretty good for a back and biceps day. I mean, I have a pretty good pump for my buys, and my back is feeling pretty popping right now. Yeah, actually, I think the next vlog that I do end up releasing, it's either gonna be leg day, or it's probably gonna be like me shopping as to what I grab to prep up my meals. Because literally all I do is eat chicken, Greek yogurt, protein shakes, water, and that's basically about. And then, like I said, a cup of rice. Well, I want to keep the carbs a little bit, down. But my calorie intake is looking between, I don't want to say between like 1,500 to like 1,700, and then the amount of protein that I'm taking at least between like 180 to 200 grams of protein a day, which is enough for me to maintain the muscle that I currently have while also losing the fat, and weight. And honestly, I'm doing pretty good. I think, because my target goal initially, I did mention it to my viewers and everyone else. I did mention that I wanted to get to 180, but if I have to push it down a little bit more in the sense of like maybe like 165 to like 170, just to see more progress in terms of my chest, I will do so. Because I really want to get rid of that. And we're going to get rid of it. And I promise you, by the time that I accomplish that, I'll do a video comparison from today, from the very start of the video, to, 12 weeks from now, 12 from now. But honestly, I love the gym. I can't see myself living a life without at least pumping some, fucking iron. So let's go for another round. Okay, so that's 2 sets, ranging between, if I'm not mistaken, 10 to 11, 12 at most. But we're making progress. But I don't know. Other than that, oh, I forgot to mention too, eggs. I keep forgetting, like, when I'm alternating between these workouts. So chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt, protein shakes, and if you guys eat cottage cheese, let me know because I'm hearing it's also a good sorts of protein, if I'm not mistaken, and it just sounds disgusting to me. But I could be wrong. I don't knock it till you try, but I don't know. It just seems disgusting to me. But let me know if it's a good source of protein or whatever. Let me know if it actually tastes good. Um, I'm not gonna lie though. The urge to take test, trend, and or just in general hop on peptides, it's always been real. Mainly because it's like I love the pump. I like chasing the pump, and of course, since I'm so consistent with, the diet and everything like that, it's like I want to see the results like that quickly, instantly. No, I choose not to. Like I said, I want to remain natural as possible because I want to prove to myself and hopefully prove to you too that you don't need that. But like I said, no shame to anyone else that does that. Maybe in the future I'll do something like that, but as of for right now, I want to chase being natural. Yeah, I still kind of have ifs and buts about Alex Eubanks being natural. Not to start anything, but I'm kind of on the fence of him considering himself natural. I feel like he kind of takes something, but I could be wrong. Hey, I'm just saying. But and what I love about this gym too is that it's currently 1 o'clock in the morning now. It's Thursday, the 2nd of July, which by the time that this video releases, it'll probably be the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July to everyone. But other than that, the goal, like I said, the goal throughout this whole YouTube channel is just to motivate, inspire, and hopefully get you to the gym. Because if I can do it, anyone else can do it. I don't care to be big. It's not, you know, I don't care to have big subscribers. I don't care to be some, I don't know, big influencer. I do it because I love it. This is my thrill. Being able to connect with, a small amount of audience or connect with those that are engaged. Because at the end of the day, if I can give, the best guidance or tips, because obviously, yeah, I'm going to be posting about gym a lot. It's also going to be a bit of a TED talk, or I guess you would say a therapy session too, just to kind of give a few people a reality check in terms of like their situations. Because at the end of the day, you can't drag yourself down. You got to give yourself time. Whether you're stressed about work or everything else that I've mentioned, be kind with yourself. Give yourself time. If you need time away from people, take your time. But at the end of the day, you are you. Everyone is perfect. Well, correction, we may not know the definition of perfect, but at the end of the day, all of us are beautiful in every shape or form. Take accountability in the sense of your health. Don't eat like a pig. Every once in a while is fine, but you don't want to have diabetes, especially since it runs within my family, diabetes, all sorts of stuff. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna aim for one more, and I think I'm gonna move on to another set of bicep curls, and then we'll probably call it from there. All right, that was actually pretty perfect. So bicep curls, and then we'll move our way over to the posing room, which is honestly one of the best posing rooms I've ever been to. But let me go ahead and wipe this down. When it comes to terms with my gym fits, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of letting the wife beater kind of out. I feel like it looks a little bit more professional when I have it tucked in, even though it looks, from my mother says gay, but other than that, I kind of like to keep it tucked in rather than, I don't know, it just feels kind of sloppy. I feel like a ghetto, if you will. Let's aim for, so we're gonna do a little bit more differently. We're gonna aim for like a triangle. I think we're gonna do 3 sets of these, I'm gonna start off with 100, which I'll aim for 12 reps. And then from there I'll go to 50, which I'll aim for 10 reps. And then I'll push it to 30 till failure. So this will be interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, I do have another tripod, but it's more of the magnetic one, which if you haven't seen my TikTok or the edit that I posted or whatever, it's typically like I can put it onto this and you can kind of go with me as I lift, but I think I'll kind of experiment with that in other vlogs. So we'll come to see how I alternate between the two. But we're gonna start off with 100. Okay. 50. Okay. 30. We're gonna go for as long as we can here. Shit. Okay. Whew. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna just say right now, first-handedly, shout out to the mud for giving me this triangle method of a workout. Because I think this is where I like to do the finisher for my workout, at least for my biceps. Because I get the nastiest pump. But I'm not gonna lie. Usually when I take C4, it definitely gives me the craziest pump ever. But I still got 2 more sets, and I know my arms already feel rock hard. Pause. My fault. Pause, but I'm not gonna lie though. Going kind of crazy right now. But yeah. But then again, I may just incorporate till failure in all my workouts. Like possibly knocking out the entirety of like 10 to 12 reps. Because I have that accustomed in my head. Because I heard doing till failure, I mean, obviously it's one of the best things you can do. But I don't know, I'm kind of, we'll come to find out. We'll come to find out in other vlogs, but I'm a huge yapper. So, welcome to my world. Let's go for this other set. $50 for 10. 30 till failure. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to start probably bringing a rag. But thank God I'm not in Florida, because the humidity is something else. Let's do it. Shit. Okay. Oh. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm outdoing myself right now, like in a good way. Because I'm not gonna lie, my pump right now from my back and my biceps are pretty good right now. The urge to want to drink kratom after this is kind of insanely high, because I heard it's pretty good for recovery too. I've only ever drinking kratom in the midst of my workout or before my workout. But so yeah, I think yeah, we're gonna aim for the same thing. As soon as I'm done with this, we're gonna aim for the posing room and then touch it up from there. So, and I'm not gonna lie, honestly, I lost my train of thought. I think we're just gonna keep it at that. We're just gonna keep it at that. But the perfect time right now at the gym, 1 o'clock in the morning. Mainly dead and empty right now, but exactly what we want. And because my sister works here, I had brought it up that I initially wanted to record early, typically in the afternoons when I do work out, but I don't want to get in the way of everyone else. But then again, everyone at this gym typically records, but I just prefer to work out at a time where it's kind of a little bit more empty, so I kind of have the more space, I guess you would say. But that's just me. Maybe we'll alternate between gyms too, I don't know, but I'm really faithful to the one gym that I'm currently at. So, yeah, all right. I'm gonna go for 100, this is gonna be a killer set. All right. Okay. Still gonna push myself. Aim for 50, for 10. Freaking A. Don't matter. We keep going. Might have to take off my glasses in a second, honestly. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me right there. So, Jesus. Oh my God. That was killer. So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna have to hydrate right now, which I'll probably do before I head into the posing room. But honestly, this was a very, very productive back in Bars day. Typically, these vlogs will be a little bit more cleaner. I'm just kind of getting a feel for it right now. But bit by bit, you know, slow and easy as you will. So we're gonna move on to the posing room. Okay, so just making sure that this doesn't cut off, but this is where I'm at in terms of my pump. So, and obviously, I'm sure I already brought it up, but I'm gonna touch base with it and again. This is exactly how I want my chest to be, if not a little bit more tighter than where it's at right now. Considering that it's a little cold right now and I just took off my tank top, but that's exactly where I want it to be. And I already confirmed that it's not gynecomastia, thank God it's not. I did go to a doctor and they told me it's just the fat. He did explain that if it was gynecomastia, it would be a little bit more, what's the right word? It would look a little bit more deformed in terms of, being fat. But that's what he told me, so let's take a look at this. Okay, let's see how our back is working like. So, definitely some progress. I definitely like how my pup came out today. I'm not gonna lie, I did get this haircut today, so I look like I just enlisted, especially since I shaved. But other than that, pup is looking pretty well chat. Shoulders looking nice, biceps, triceps looking pretty decently well. So, but definitely for sure, we're gonna lose a lot of weight. We're gonna cut this out. We're gonna cut this out for sure. And for sure, as for my waist, we're gonna kiss that goodbye within these next 8 to 12 weeks. But as you see, solid foundation, and in the sense of like the upper part, just the lower part, especially after when you have a daughter. Most can relate. I know there's other fathers out there that stay consistent with the gym even after having a baby. But yeah, I'd say solid. So I think that's pretty well. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, but I'll definitely talk more in the car right now. Okay, well, I kind of was reviewing a bit of the footage. The lighting could have been a bit better, but I'll definitely ask for the controller next time, but you can see where I was going. I just hate having to go back and forth and asking for the remote, because the other location you don't really have to ask for it. But other than that, that is basically how the channel is gonna go from here on out. Just simple workouts. There doesn't really have to be anything too crazy in terms of working, like doing different workouts. I do what I find is comfortable for me. I do technically incorporate, smaller things that are new. But mainly my workouts consist of things that I've been doing for a long time. And I know it's a bit dark right now, forgive me. I know I'm a little bit dark to myself, so it's kind of
You're just gonna have to kind of get used to it. But other than that, that's kind of what it is. My workouts are gonna be basic, but going to show you too that you don't have to do crazy workouts to get the body that you want. So other than that, that's just about it. And let me know what type of music you guys listen to as well. I'm kind of into the Brazilian funk type of music right now. I'm kind of incorporating a little bit of house music too, which I'm really getting into. I think one of my favorite artists right now is Mike Crook. One of them would be On Your Mind and Think About You. Some pretty good solid house music. And just like I said, Brazilian funk. So, but hey man, if you guys listen to Taylor Swift or some shit, or if you're listening to Sam Smith or some shit, definitely send me some recommendations, because I'm all for it. So other than that, that's just about it. So like I said, the next vlog will we'll possibly touch base either with leg day, or we will incorporate my meal preps, because honestly I'm really basic when it comes to those terms. And keep in mind that 30 minutes to 45 minutes of cardio incline really does do a lot for you. And of course, leg day goes a long way. And Arondondo, if you're watching this shit, stop fucking skipping leg day, because you need leg day. Leg day is not for just women only. Leg day is for everyone, and that shit helps you a lot in terms of your testosterone. So I'm just saying, dog. But other than that, it's currently 1:34. I'm headed back home, and I'm probably gonna cook up some chicken and probably get ready for today, even though it's like 1:35 in the morning right now, because I really don't do anything other than just gym, work, and game. So my workouts are fairly simple. My life is kind of simple, and of course, be a family man. So yeah, other than that, you guys have a safe 4th of July. Whatever it is that you guys are doing, please be safe, be mindful, do not drink and drive. If you are, however, going to drink and drive, get a damn Uber, or have one of your family members come pick you up, or have a close friend. I live in El Paso, so it's definitely it's worse than Miami, at least for me to say, because I lived in Miami for like 22 years, or correction, 21. But other than that, you guys have a safe 4th of July. I do hope that these videos kind of give you some type of guidance or some type of motivation to get within the gym. Like I said, I'm no expert, but I'm definitely not a beginner at that. It's just I've been lazy as hell in terms of diet, but I'm definitely locking the hell in for this one, because I definitely want to have a tight chest and better foundation. Hopefully get somewhere identical to a Greek god physique. But until then, you guys stay safe. You guys take it easy. Remember, don't let your mind take control of you. You take control of your mind, and in due time, everything will fall into place. Give it to God, and everything will be fine. You guys stay safe. Have a good night.